Conduct overhaul. PD have now finished a complete review of their conduct system and have rewritten the rules accordingly. This has resulted in some fundamental changes to the conduct rules, as well as some additional guidance on how to roleplay conflict and romance at events. To complement this, they've updated the reporting process and significantly expanded the range of sanctions that they can apply if they determine that the rules have been broken. They've also updated the rules for the must-avoid policy to bring them into line with the new rules. Conduct cases that have been resolved in the last 6 months have been dealt with using the new system, but if the new rules outline a potential conduct issue that you are aware of, then they do encourage you to get in touch with the conduct team to discuss it, no matter how long ago it occurred. The current conduct rules used for Empire were originally written approximately 15 years ago. In that time, the expectations of what a game should offer and what a game organizer could try to deliver has changed, and the rules failed to reflect those changing values. They had extended the rules and made minor changes over the years, but the principles that underpinned them had never been reviewed. To create a set of rules that would serve the Empire community for the next decade, they needed to start again from scratch. The review has looked at every part of PD's conduct rules, but there were some key issues that they wanted to address. The first issue was the scope of the conduct rules. The original rules were built to govern behaviour at PD events, and this was later extended to their online communities. This approach meant that they couldn't take action when presented with obvious examples of egregious behaviour that took place outside of their events. The new rules are founded on the principle that PD's responsibility is to try to ensure the safety of their participants at events. In simple terms, if one of the community acts to threaten or harm another member, then they'll take action, regardless of when or where it happened. The second issue was confidentiality. PD's previous framework was designed to maximise the confidentiality of all parties involved. Unfortunately, this approach was undermining faith in the conduct process because people were unaware when action had been taken. The new rules aim to give clear feedback to everyone who makes a report to the conduct team, so they know exactly what steps profound decisions have taken to address their concerns. The third issue is that they wanted to have more tools to address problematic behaviour. They wanted a way to address incidents that didn't meet the threshold for a formal warning. PD also wanted to have steps that they could take to provide additional protection for participants. PD had been proactively offering a must-avoid to both parties in a complaint, but this was punitive to both parties. The must-avoid process was designed to deal with cases where neither party was at fault. The new framework needed to offer better options than a must-avoid. It is impossible to detail every change that PD has made to their conduct policy, but they strongly recommend reading it if you can. The rules are long, but they're all on a single page, and they've tried to ensure that the bullet points capture all the major issues. Most players will not need to read the rules for reporting a conduct problem or those governing what sanctions might be imposed, unless they need to make a report. However, some of the key changes have been summarised. Conduct. Remit. The new rules are applicable to everyone who attends Empire events in any capacity. PD will take action on behaviour that violates their rules and threatens or harms their participants regardless of when or where it happened. Consent. The new rules adopt a modern approach to matters of consent. PD requires everyone to ensure that they have consent before engaging in sex, and that consent is enthusiastic, informed, specific, freely given, and reversible. Grooming. PD has implemented additional rules to govern relationships with children and younger players. They've been explicit about the position of authority that their crew have and the additional responsibilities this creates, but the rule also includes players who are in positions of authority or prominence in their community, either in character or out of character. Bullying. The rules are now explicit that PD will not tolerate out-of-character bullying at the events. They have created additional guidance for role-playing conflict between characters that's intended to reduce the possibility for out-of-character bullying. Reporting. Response times. Previously, responses took a varied length of time. During the pandemic in particular, the reduced manpower led participants waiting much longer to hear back from PD than was acceptable. PD can't control how long an investigation takes, but they have given commitments for how long a player can expect to wait before hearing back from them at any point in the process. They will aim to do better than these times if they can, but the published times represent what they can guarantee to achieve. Confidentiality. Previously, the reporting process described a report as anonymous, when in fact what was meant was confidential. The new process uses better language to describe what happens and provides much clearer information to participants on how the process will work and what options they have. Sanctioned events. PD are going to implement a new process for Empire sanctioned events after the first event of this year that will allow them to ensure that banned participants don't attend those events. Details of that system will be published once they overhaul the sanctioned event rules. Sanctions. Caution. The conduct system now includes the possibility for a caution alongside a formal warning and a ban. That means PD can take action where they want a player to change their behaviour, but the issue is not serious enough to warrant a formal warning. It will allow PD to better track behaviour over time if there are repeated minor transgressions. Additional restrictions. PD has documented a wide range of additional restrictions that they can impose where they feel they are warranted. For example, if a participant has been harassed by someone, then PD can impose a no interaction ban that prevents the harasser from approaching them at events. Or if a participant has demonstrated that they do not know how to meet the requirements for grappling at events, then PD can ban them from grappling in the future. This has just been a summarised list of the conduct overhaul. If you'd like to read it in more detail, which we absolutely recommend that you do, please visit the Profound Decisions Empire wiki under the conduct update page. It is quite long, but it's worth reading. Thank you.